Katie Thoreau, back for another tip. And today's actually more of a PSA, maybe even more of a plea. I really want to help everybody play with more intensity. And for bass players especially, there are two things to focus on: the clarity and intensity of your right hand and the clarity and intensity of your left hand. And when I say playing with more intensity, I don't mean playing louder. I just mean playing with feeling. Because if you're not going to play with intensity, clarity, and feeling, why play at all, right? So let's just quickly, for bass players, talk about the left hand. The number one way to get more clarity out of your bass playing, I've said this so many times, you guys have already heard it, is dig in with your left hand. So here's me not digging in, and I'm gonna play with my right hand as I normally would. Okay, I cannot play like that for too much longer. So what was I not doing to not get that clarity? Well, for starters, I wasn't holding down the notes long enough with my left hand. So that's why you hear a lot of that attack and buzz, and my notes can only be staccato, right? All you're hearing is... So I'm lifting too early with my left hand. That's number one. And that has nothing to do with my right hand. I could be playing as legato as I want all day long, but my left hand is making it staccato. The other thing you notice is that the sound was weaker. It wasn't as intense because I wasn't digging into the string with my left hand fully. And I mean digging in, not so that it hurts. I don't want you to hurt yourself, but digging in so you can feel all your fingers on the string. So if my fourth finger's down, my first finger is down just as much. Remember, the fourth finger, the pinky, is our weakest finger, right? So it really needs more support. So here's me like kind of holding my fingers down. You're gonna hear that buzz, right? And then I'm gonna press down a little bit harder with just my pinky. That's okay. And then I'm gonna start to press down all my fingers a little bit more. Now I'm really digging in. Ooh, nice round sound, right? I love that. And so when you dig into the string like we just did and hold the quarter notes or whatever note you're playing to the full note length value, you're all of a sudden going to have this nice round legato sound. You don't have to do that all the time, but we want to have the ability to do that when we want to. So now, without changing my right hand, I have a nice legato, strong, clear, intense left hand. So I'll play those same chord changes again so you can hear the difference. I'll play without intensity first, real quick so you can hear it. Here's a light left hand. Okay, so we don't want that. Here's digging in with my left hand and holding down the notes as long as I can. Okay, so we have all of a sudden more legato, more intensity of notes, and more lengthened notes, and it's more round. Okay, and now the right hand. Again, I've talked about this a lot. It's almost the same principles as the left hand, is holding out the notes and not disrupting the vibration. I'll show you the same thing with the right hand. So I can hold down my left hand as long as I want and make it legato and nice and round, but if my right hand is staccato and cutting off the vibration, it's gonna sound like this. So not only are the notes short, but I'm adding an attack, right? By disrupting that vibration, I'm going... So they don't really sound like quarter notes anymore. It almost sounds like eighth notes, and then I'm getting in the way of what the drummer's doing, and then I don't want to do that. Every sound I make on the bass, I want to make sure that I want to make it, right? Or any sound you want to make on your instrument. You want to be in control of what it is. So again, there's two things with the right hand. Digging into the string and just letting go. Letting gravity do its work, right? And the next thing you want to do, you might be at this stage where you're cutting off the vibration. We want to have a nice sustained quarter note. So you just have to think about it. You can look at your finger. So you're attacking and pulling the string at the same time instead of making those two separate motions. If I was to attack and pull, that's when we get that sound, that extra accent, right? And even sometimes if your finger's coming up too far, so you gotta keep your fingers close to the string, same with the left hand, and just pull, let it vibrate, and then attack and pull at the same exact time so you don't get an accent. And again, you practice these on your scales. It's a no-brainer. You don't have to think about it, just... Or you do it with one finger if that's how you pluck, it doesn't matter. So now when you go to play, you have intensity in your right hand and your left hand, which just equals clarity. You want people to hear what you're playing and you want to be clear for everybody, right? You don't want to leave any question to what your bass line is, what the chord quality is. And the same thing goes for when I'm singing. If I'm not singing with intensity and using enough breath, I mean, this goes for horn players too, right? What's the point? So I'll do it the light version. Just friends, lovers no more. Just friends, but not like before. So automatically, when I'm not singing with intensity, it doesn't transfer to the bass either. So everything just lightens up. And again, it's not that I want to sing or play loudly. I just want to be clear and make sure everybody can hear exactly what I'm doing and make sure that I'm conveying exactly what I want to convey. So take that deep breath, right? And luckily I play the bass, so I can always feel if I'm taking a deep breath or not, because this thing will move. So here's me singing with more intensity. Again, not necessarily louder, just clearer, more breath support, right? And that'll in turn influence my bass playing. Just friends, lovers no more. Just friends, but not like before. To think of what we've been and not to kiss again. Seems like pretending it isn't the ending. Two friends drifting apart. Two friends, but one broken heart. We laughed, we cried, suddenly love died. The story ends, but we're just friends. So I was singing with more breath support, of course connecting to the lyrics, so that was coming out better and clearer. You could hear the notes. Everything that I was meaning to sing came out. And for the bass, I was digging in with my left hand, holding out the notes as long as I could, and with my right hand, digging in as well and not disrupting the vibration and hopefully not overpowering the voice. So if you can take anything away today from my PSA of intensity, is that you want to make sure that people can always hear you, right? Hear all the ideas you're trying to convey, the melodies, harmony, everything. So it's about intensity and clarity so we can hear exactly what you're playing. As always, feel free to DM me if you have any questions.